Well, it's been a minute since I've played PSO, especially on the GameCube itself. We are going to pick back up where we were before and play episode 2. And I'm doing it as the worst class in the game. Hooray! Cool. And to think I intentionally picked the robot girl on purpose, and yet, yeah, I get to be like, hey, yeah, she's considered to be the weakest class in the game because she's completely outcast by all the other She's completely outclassed by all the other robots, and she doesn't have any sort of utility like magic or anything like that. So, hooray! What fun we have on this show. Anyway, excuse the desk noise. That was from me pulling my chair up. We're going to do this only on normal difficulty instead of like hard or very hard. And there's a good reason for that, because there is one absolute marathon of a motherfucker of a quest in episode 2, and that is the only story quest that exists in it. So once we unlock that by unlocking all the areas, well, that's going to be painful no matter what difficulty we're on, because hooray! They learned how to design more difficult stuff around the mechanics, which means that there's more things with like instant death and shit. Hey, you're a completely new character model. Yeah, probably. We're not very research oriented, so like, yeah. Yes, I don't know if you know this yet, man, but we saved the fucking world. Yeah, 1985, that is correct. I forgot the numbers too a little bit, and I was just accepting that you were 41 off of as old at the end. Whatever. Anyway. Yeah, so they're... What's the deal? I'm thinking of it as request from the lab. Okay, yeah, so they're putting out a posting to everybody who is a nerd or something. Ah, you found something that you hadn't seen before. Okay. Started with a communication you recently received from a man. Well, I suppose there are weirder things to receive a communication from, like... Wasp. I don't know. Ooh, I see. So it's a ghost. Wait, no, probably not. Well, maybe. Man died a few... Oh, so it is a ghost. Never mind. Gonna find out what happened to him. It's a ghost, dude. Come on. Keep up. I'm sure it does. I've seen what a mess this place is when it's... Well, yeah, because I think 1983 was Japan, right? The Japanese release date for it. And for us to measure your... I saved the fucking world. You want me to take a test to see how strong I... Oh, Lord. Well, I'm offended already. Can you believe this horse shit? Yeah, I'm sure you can, actually. It'll take place in a virtual reality system. Oh boy, it's like we beat Metal Gear Solid already, and now we're doing the VR missions disc. 2 fields, temple and spaceship. I don't think you have to worry about either of those existing on Regal, champ. There's like no sign of a civil... Oh, right, the ruins are a spaceship. Never mind. I digress. 2 VR fields are divided up into 3 areas. Okay, so I'm guessing it's kind of like how Sonic CD areas are. Big nerd joke here because it's also a Sega property. In fact, this game was developed by Sonic Team, so... Area 1 and 2, and then a boss area, yeah? Oh, you're being quite evasive about this. Okay. You recommend that we complete the exam? Why? Are you gonna, like, stick a bomb up me or something? Is this gonna be like speed? If I start going too slow, I get blowed up? No, apparently it's just a test of our reflexes. Yeah, do people, like, not know that we fucking killed Dark Falls already? I mean, I guess it's because, oh, hey, yeah, it's not technically actually in sequence or anything, but still. We've got some new NPC models. I guess that's interesting. It makes up for the fact that we're going to be fighting recycled enemies. I have bad news for everyone. And also the banker model is recycled as well. Hey, look, there's no gear that we need because we got better drops already. Ah, yes, classic. Well, that's kind of how all the Phantasy Star MMOs worked, as far as I can remember. Actually, no, we bought plenty of gear in the Phantasy Star universe when we played the story mode of that. I have never bothered to go online with PSU, by the way. I should at some point. But for now, there's no quest for us yet, so let's go into VR Temple Alpha. Like, I think technically it shows the one quest in the register, but we can't take it yet because we're not cool enough or something. Oh yeah, I forgot I'm carrying like 800 different weapons, right? Good gracious, I really am. Phantasy Star Universe, I did play it at the time. Well, I played it a couple years after the fact. And I thought the story mode kind of sucked. I played it on this channel like probably a year and a half ago. And I thought the story mode sucked less than I thought it did back then, but it still was not particularly amazing. And to be fair, I was not one of those people who got like super deep into the Phantasy Star story at the time that the game was, rather than the PSO story, because I hadn't played any of the single-player ones at the time. I assume because, like, either my brother was never interested or I was never interested, possibly both, or they were just too damn expensive because, remember, this is cartridge days we're talking about. There used to be price differences based on how big of a cartridge something was on. Now, of course, because we're in normal mode, all these enemies are comically easy. But I swear to you, there is a reason why we're doing it this way. Also, of course, the treasure is, like, all worthless. We shouldn't even waste our time looking at any of these things until later if we actually need to start using real healing items. I mean, we have already taken some damage, come to think of it. I think it was from that fireball launcher. Yeah, it's got to have been from the fireball launcher, because we're pretty high level. These enemies are a little bit on the sad side right now, so Ganba Magus, yeah, I know, right? Right as I say that, but in my defense, I'm pretty sure that was damage from the flamethrower over there, and that scales according to your elemental resistances, not like any of your real stats. Those are affected only by your equipment. So that'd be like our EFR. Apparently, we can't gain any sort of natural fire resistance despite being a robot. Well, okay, I guess depending how hot it is, it's still whatever. Who cares? Point is, Yeah, we only block like 30% of the damage from any fire elemental attack. So, yes, those fire traps will still hurt us. And in fact, I think the explosives will as well, but I haven't chanced it yet. Is my bag full? It's gotta be for like all these random green. Oh god, yeah, my bag is full of so much. Oh right, because it's full of all the escape dolls that I took against Dark Falls. Of course it would be. Ooh yeah. Yo, JJ, how's it going, buddy? Hope you're having yourself a good time of day. Anyway, if we want to break those boxes, we have to actually walk up to them, which means we have to do this. And to be quite honest with you, I'm not 100% sure why I'm doing this. My bag is full. I simply have a problem. So far it's going pretty good. I'm finally getting the video making end of my ass back together. And that should probably be up on Saturday or Sunday, pardon me. I corrected in the other direction because I was like, I can get this done by Saturday earlier, and then I was like, I'll give it till Sunday. Just for... And yeah, exactly, it's terminal loot goblin disease. It's what happens when you play enough of these games. Yeah, perhaps I should, like, not just ignore the fireballs, but I am kind of a buffoon when it comes to stuff like that, so... will I be I should actually do that, shouldn't I? I didn't well, okay, I'll asterisk and say it's not that I didn't remember when I streamed that. I could probably upload that on my side channel there where I upload all the stream archives. But yeah, there's gonna be a admittedly rather short video up on the main channel of me talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses and how it's a very odd alternate universe sort of thing, both to the main Yu-Gi-Oh! Lore, because like I don't think Dark Knight or Haishin show up in any other games except for Falsebound Kingdom after that point. After that point, yes, obviously they were in Forbidden Memories. Let me be the one who's the buffoon here. And also just the whole concept where it's the War of the Roses with Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters, and that's a little bit weird. But also sort of looking at it as this idea of, like, I originally wanted to do this video of games that added significant things to the lore and stuff of franchises that are not typically associated with being like games first sort of thing. So if you wanted everything, you had to play these oddball video games. Okay, yeah, by the way, we need to remember to check these pods because this will give us our story snippets for the area. And we can check some data. I haven't touched the Phantasy Star 4 rando in a while. Ooh, that sounds like an issue. How is the Phantasy Star 4 rando, though? Oh, wow, the whole lab is talking to me. Wow. That's right, we're in a simulation. Oh, hey, it's Ellie. We met her in a quest in PSO Episode 1. So, hey, continuity, everybody. Hooray! Nice to meet... Well, okay. Continuity might be a bit of a stretch in that case. Call him Cal. God, not after the puppet, I hope. It's the floaty green thing. I mean, Ellie really wants to fuck this weird cube. I mean, we get it. She likes robots. Anyway, I mean, fair enough. It is not said in judgment, guys. But also, that was like a moment of what I would expect more out of PSO2, I think. And yeah, this is where we can get some information from various things here. In VR space, everything works the same as in reality. So, if you die in the video game, you die in real life. Or with some asterisks. You just like pain. Yeah, that's completely understandable, Ganba. I know you from Brian's channel, so I think I can safely say you saw the game last night, right? Ah. Oh, she's getting reprimanded for all that. Truly, this was the greatest playoffs. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Well, it was something, alright. Yeah, so this is their excuse for no new monster models for 2 dungeons. So yeah, can we access the rest of the data bank here? We can take a look at the enemies that we are encountering so far. We have no info on the grass assassin yet, apparently, but we can see the Mothmans and Mones when we get there. Anything about this field data? Let's see what the deal is with this. Is this going to tell us just how to deal with things? Yeah. That's just how to use doors. These aren't labeled, so I don't know what it's telling me all of. Yeah. Press the switches to turn off the laser things. Need to activate a bridge. Yeah, so that's something that I don't think we see a whole lot of in episode 1. It has been a minute. Yeah, there's a couple of stuff that's bridge switched. Oh geez, yeah, we can see those traps pretty well because we are made of metal. And also, of course, Ellie wants to be able to do robot things. Nope. Of course, there is the issue of you can't see them around corners very easily. Sometimes the camera angle just tells you to eat pant, and you just have to be like, well, I guess I didn't see that. It's a good thing it didn't really damage me very much. Ah, here's a big boy. That one's taking 3 shots from us even on this difficulty. Hooray! And by hooray, I mean meh. Oh yeah, I hear that noise. That shadow is not a rappy. It's one of these things. Oh yeah, I guess these machine guns would probably do, like, crazy good damage, right? Also lets break through obstacles pretty easily. It didn't mention anything about the breakable walls, so I guess we're supposed to just be like, either find that out on our own, or wait until we get informed about the situation later. Let's round these guys up a little bit. Oh, it definitely... Yeah, it gets weaker as it goes through multiple enemies. That's a pity, but probably to be expected. You know, standard piercing weapon behavior in most video games, I would say. That it gets some sort of damage fall off. Usually. Or maybe it was range. I don't think it was range. Didn't seem like it was that... Didn't seem like the other guys were that far away, but... Maybe my depth perception is 0. Oh wow, there's 2 of them. That's kind of neat though. That tells me that there's like an active community for that sort of thing, which is very, very cool. It's in general, I am glad that there's so much going on for so many old games and stuff like that. And all the randomizers. That stuff is a lot of fun too. I gotta bring back randomizers at some point, because I haven't done one in a couple of weeks. And admittedly, it would be nice to mix up what we're doing with those a little bit more than just me being like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna play another OOT rando, because that's what I know, but instead I'll play something that I will get horribly lost in. Or just do a Pokemon rando, because those are always fun to see absolute horror shows crop up. Oh god, that thing's on a timer, I forgot. I mean, a lot of the other fields on Wriggle were kind of like that. Hey, remember to use your map. Anyway, no new enemy data yet, which is fine. We already know how to, like, fight all of these, so... Meh. Yeah, this is what we're using in lieu of, like, a rifle or something, by the way, is this photon launcher, because I discovered that it fires a lot faster than I remember it going. So for anything that needs, like, actual range... Meanwhile, sure, I'll let that dude just walk up to me. Oh, those Rappies got annihilated. Wow, nope. 80% on that. Okay, yeah, so that kind of scans. The Vice just has a level of attack power that you would expect from the machine guns. Which is to say, not great because of video game balance reasons. Now for a display of optimal rudeness, we drop that mine on those guys and pick up, well, both their drops were actually useful, so can't say nothing this time. I'm going to make an assumption that that warp point is to, like, outside of this room or something. Because there's a timer on the gate out there still, I believe. Yeah. it didn't just permanently dispel the purple electricity. Instead, they went with the more complicated solution. Oh, I was still inside of that a little bit. Oops. It's fine. Alright, so... And I took this out hoping that I'd be able to clear all those crates in a single sweep. Nope. Not at all. That was a very silly thing for me to think. I like how I still have that Bardiche in my inventory when I have clearly a superior sweep. That's also because I just neglected to sell all the shit that I picked up off of Dark Falls. Or even deposit the massive scape dolls that I took out, because I was like, I might fail to evade Megid or get nuked by Grant during that fight. Because, yeah, being unable to use magic during Dark Falls 3rd phase is just kind of very painful. But we were over that like a million years ago, so... I'd ask if you remember, but you don't have to. I forget things so you don't have to remember. Wait. That's not how that works. Oh, by the way, that's what that special attack looks like for this thing. It's not very damaging, but it's interesting, I think. I wish I knew enough about, like, any of this game's code to, like, rebalance some of that stuff, because... yeah. Alright, so now that we're in the new area, do we get new information yet? Yeah, okay, so we've got... Oh, boy. Love seeing this in the first area. Ha ha ha. Ah. Oh, that's rude. They definitely want you to be very experienced with this game. Gets worse later, don't worry. Alright, what else can you tell me about how to hold the controller, game? Yeah, usually you see evidence of that on the ground more. But okay. Oh, I see the little turrets are technically called pillars. Well, I will forget that, so... Yeah, I'm trying to remember if there were many, like, completely hidden routes in episode 1. Do not believe so. Not counting, like, oh yeah, I gotta wait for the map to load in, guys. Sorry. That obviously is not the same thing. Yeah, seemed like a bit of a load time there for that next wave of enemies here. But instead of it opening the main wave for us, we have to go and just go into these two little side rooms and hit the switches. Bit of an odd choice to leave in the single player mode, but all right. They introduced a fair amount of, like, stage design elements here, but I kind of remember this being a lot more complicated for some reason. Alright, just try to pull everything in closer. Tighten in a little bit more. Yeah, see, that HP expenditure does great damage, but also, like, that's not a very useful use of my resources. That's just overkill. But it was fun to watch a number that big crop up, because it's been a second, at least in this game. Alright, what have you got to tell us? Not really. I mean, most of the HP expenditure is my own fault for being a goofball. So I could skip every enemy I wanted to, in theory. Unfortunately, the game doesn't really give me a great option to do that, but eh. Oh, that actually peaked the mic. Wow. That controller is too close then. Granted, the GameCube controller is already kind of a noisy proposition most of the time anyway, so... Yeah, see, this is because I'm just ignoring the fireball guns basically entirely. Oh. Yeah, okay, these things can still hurt me. That makes sense, actually. If anything should be able to, I suppose that's pretty high up the list. Much as I'm loath to admit it. Ah! We're in like one of those pixels where we're basically outside the room. It's pretty dumb. Oh hey, healing ring. Now I don't have to go back to base. That's good. Okay, no, let's try removing this with reasonable speed. Apparently not all of our attacks hit, though, because for some reason. Oops. Well, at least one of the other enemies walks around. Oh, there it is. It probably can't hit us very well because of how over-leveled we are for this area. And yet you've seen me at some pretty low HP, because I was doing clown shit. Like, spending HP on large swaths of enemies that I really didn't need to. Obviously, the poison lilies are just no threat to me because I am immune to poison and paralysis by virtue of being a robot. It would suck if we were on, like, the really high difficulties because I think I explained this when I was playing episode 1 that, yeah, on Ultimate, the poison lilies get upgraded and they shoot instant death attacks because this game is rude as hell. And in this game, those work really well when the enemy uses them, anyway. When you use them, well, you pretty much want the level maxed out on those to have a chance. Oh. Bridge is out, so we can't finish going that way. Never mind. It's set up like it's over a room, but... Oh yeah, it's over the room at the other end of the broken bridge. Okay. So I have a feeling that we warp down here at the end of this, and that is what will let us raise the bridge. There'll be a switch over there, because that's a setup that I think I've seen before. Yeah, alright. I definitely called that one. Somehow we got out of this room without getting fireballed even once. Pretty easy for a simple sack of HP there. Oh, hey, this one's already open. That's slightly odd, but I guess the other side was carrying boxes, so... eh. Ah, yes, all these lovely bag is full noises. I don't even feel like I need that mono grinder. But it looks like here we are at the end, so that's incredible. Yeah. Barba, So it looks like the data has been pre-censored or something, huh? These creatures will be unlike anything you have encountered before. Bullshit! Ugh. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. I tried to say bullshit and my entire throat just started rebelling against me. Oh, wait, no, sorry. That's... I did the gag backwards again. Damn it! Ugh. I'm an absolute buffoon. How do you people put up with this? Oh, hey, our health is full. Yay. I didn't even have to go over there. Hooray. Alright, so let's dump the garbage already and deposit those scape dolls and then be on our way. Hold on a sec. Let's take a look at our mag. I want to see what our best bet is here in terms of... I think feeding it Dimates is the way to get its stats up. But first, let's turn this thing into slightly more money. Put up with it? Do you? It's a good question, Mega Man. Wait. Alright, so we're gonna max these out, because A, we might actually use them, and B, it's also an effective way to feed this thing some more of these. Alright. Go over to the deposit box and store our money and our these things. We don't have anything that we need to like get out of here, right? Like all these are just goofy things that I'm saving because I thought they were neat. Because surely I'm not about to just throw out gear that's like cool or something. That would be tremendously silly. Anyway. Slicer. And in we go. That might give you a little bit of a hint as to what this boss is going to be like. If you remember any of the episode 1 bosses. It is quite reminiscent of Derelay. This is kind of the snake, but kind of different. It's got this stupid... Oh, wait, no. Here come the pig rays, first of all. And then it starts doing the stab you from under the ground move. Yes, okay, when you see these particles... That's start running in a circle. Oh, is just poison you? Surely it does damage, right? Like, surely I cannot, as a robot, just sit there and go, like, I don't fucking care about this, right? That'd be stupid. Whatever, we absolutely creamed that boss because we're so over-leveled. But yeah, it's basically just... It's basically just Derelay with less shitty attack patterns. It does have a really impressive-looking big laser, if I recall correctly. But I'm not going to let that thing stick around for long enough to let me have to think about if that laser is cool or not. Don't kid yourself. I'm here to pick up, like, 20 Meseta worth of items. Come on. That's right, everybody. We did it. We completed the first test, I guess. Wait, what am I saying I guess for? Yes, that is what we did. That is what we did. And now we just go talk to the boss, and she doesn't even go, holy shit, you annihilated that thing fast. Wow, talk about unflappable. All right. Okay, then. And this dude's just here doing business as usual. You know. Is there not SMD format? So I'm going to take a guess, Retro, that you can probably just save them as .smd. Or... you know, change the abbreviation, basically. Abbreviation. Oh my god. I know the technical term for it. The extension. I'm sorry. But unfortunately, there is like an 86% chance, give or take, that at any time my brain is just ooze. Oh, it's not gonna let you just do things the easy way. Well, what a load of old pants. So I'm not certain how you would be able to do any conversion for that, other than just get another ROM. Anyway, we've beaten the first area. I am, in fact, going to go demonstrate that there's nothing at the quest desk for us right now. That if we go there, it'll be like, oh yeah, Seat of the Heart, you can't do that yet, knucklehead. Yeah. See, it exists, but if you go in, it's gonna be like, yeah, don't kid yourself. Yeah, see, the music is not even the same. Yeah, so that is very strange that it's set up like that. Man, this load time. What am I on, an N kit or something? God, I think when I was playing Return to Regal on an emulator, which also was counted as an NKit file image, it loaded faster than that. So, disregard my jokes, I guess. They are not consistent with reality. Anyhow, let's move on to the spaceship. That's right, get your Space Core jokes ready, everybody, because here's the Space Core. Wait, no, sorry. No, that's just the VR uplink. Well, I guess at bare minimum, at least here we've got a, oh, jeez, I forgot what I was gonna say. Anyway, forget it. Yeah, but this is the piece that I remember for sure has a music chunk from one of the previous Phantasy Star games. Also, when you start getting into, like, actual fights, it has some pretty intense parts that are really cool. Just in general. Also, yeah, just like in the forest, the wolves are a little more defensively. Oh, crapola, this thing is here. On the other hand, we are quite strong, so... yeah, there's that little bit from Phantasy Star 2. Anyway, yeah, we're strong, so the Panarms does not give a... we do not care one tiny little bit about its defense. In fact, we're not even sure why it bothered anyway. It's like, yeah, you could have gone home and done anything else with your life. However, it's pretty dark in here, and we're likely to be eaten by a grue. So perhaps we ought to be a little bit careful of that. Okay, that should turn on the lights back in the main room. That's good. Alright, so far they've just got the robots and some wolves for us to deal with. Occasionally a couple of other random things. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, okay, so... hey, does anybody remember me saying that the enemies get worse here? Because, yeah, they just start chucking these things at you in stage 2. And every time I see one of them in episode 2, I want to scream bloody murder. Because, not just because they're like a really shit enemy to fight, which they are a really shit enemy to fight. It's a good thing that we're massively over-leveled, guys. The other reason why I get very angry is because I still remember, and it's like, it's been probably like 10 years, maybe even significantly more than that. I was playing PSO Blue Burst on one of the private servers, and I was hunting for an item fighting these things, and it was a quite rare item. I think the drop rate was estimated to be something like 1 in 10,000 off of this specific enemy. So I ended up like popping open a party to be like, hey, yeah, can some folks help me farm this because I'm not strong enough to do it solo. And you know, we did it, and someone stole the damn thing out from under me. It dropped, and they just yanked that from me. And like, okay, sure, I probably could have been like, hey, that's the thing I was looking for, but what are they gonna do? Are they seriously gonna be like, hey, yeah, I'm sure, sorry, I'll drop that for you, if they didn't figure out in the first place who the host for the fucking room was and what their ID was, so what their drop chart was, didn't immediately figure to themselves, oh, hey, yeah, maybe they want it. I don't think they're gonna, I did not think at the time, and I still do not assume anybody would have the decency to be like, oh, yeah, maybe I should actually offer this to the host of the game. No, they would have just been like, yeah, okay, bye. So, you know, maybe I could have said something about it. Maybe I could have been a little bit more of an asshole over it, but I didn't think that it would have been worth the effort. So I got beaten out on a drop that I really wanted at the time and was a huge pain in the ass to get. So, truth be told, I shouldn't be mad about it years later, because again, minor thing, really. And who even remembers people for that long? And the problem is, it's me. I hold grudges forever. Which is probably a bad trait to have as a general rule, but also, I don't know, that... It seems like it's generally served me well a lot of the time. Anyhow, back to this game, where we hopefully don't have to think about those shitty enemies for a little while, because they're kind of awful. My wrestler persona, the Grudge. If and only if they can, like, get me a big, like, giant TV-looking box to crawl out of every match. Or something. Wait, no, that's the wrong horror movie. I'm sorry. I'm not really all on the up and up about any kind of film, so... Can I get, like, a Tonberry style jacket? I would assume that an actual knife would be a little bit too far, but then again, I know that there are quite a few wrestlers out there who do all kind of crazy shit with various, you know, various implements. You know, Abdullah the Butcher still had a fairly long and fruitful career, even stabbing people with a fork. Yeah, but also very specifically that I'm trying to get to the part of, like, outright sharp weapons and stuff. Not just like, oh yeah, he hit a guy with a chair. I mean, that's probably a lot more damaging than a fork, but also it definitely doesn't quite have, I think, the same shock value as somebody like if I shanked a guy in the ring, you know, I think that people would be a little bit more freaked out. This is a weird thing to think about. Anyway, these guys do damage to us. I forget if their stuff is like a fixed damage attack type of thing, or if we're actually just sort of butting up against the limitations of our defenses. But regardless, speaking of defense, that is kind of the reason why this particular character class is considered to be very, very bad. Like, in terms of their specialty, is looked down upon as being like, this is a terrible idea. That thing makes a weird noise. Is that in a lot of very high-level play in PSO, it's kind of considered that there's only a few points of defense that actually matter for dealing with any particular enemy, which is, 1, make sure you don't get instantly killed by any of their attacks. 2, have it be lower enough that you take damage that is over the breakpoint where you get knocked over. Which is something like, if it deals a third of your HP or more, I think. If I recall correctly, which I quite frankly do not, so I don't even know why I'm talking on this one. And then 3, a breakpoint to go over where it does no damage anymore. And at higher difficulties, that is extremely hard to reach. So, with this character being specialized around defense, it's much easier for her to hit those breakpoints of where you don't get knocked over anymore, but where you still take damage. So you can just get absolutely dogged on by large groups of enemies. Oh yeah, I should check the field data about how to hold the controller again. Okay, yeah, so we don't have to worry about that because we're flying solo here. That's right. Use the camera that you have, what little you get. Yeah, that's... I think we already saw information about dark rooms in the previous one. There's a fine line between being brave and being stupid. It's good advice for life, really. Okay, yeah, so that was a lot of information that we basically have already heard before. Yeah, the Gorons have a lot of HP. So it's a good thing we've got this thing on our side to speed those fights up a little bit. Those guys kind of suck real bad on a lot of high difficulties because you'll get them doing like the big missile bursts, which I don't think we've actually seen in this mode, but I definitely showed that off when I was in episode 1, and it just will not be feasible to do enough damage to reach the breakpoint in time to get them to not even bother attacking you. At some point, I am probably going to end up throwing, like, streaming on one of the private servers into the rotation if I can find one that I think is actually, like, good. I mean, I think Athenia is actually, like, pretty good now because they do have some quality of life stuff and some modding options for their clients to give you a little bit of quality of life, although otherwise it is fairly vanilla. I don't think they even have like a fast EXP room or anything for the low levels, which is kind of unfortunate because otherwise that's a very large time investment. And I love this game, but it came out in 2000 and it plays like it came out in 2000. You know what I'm saying? Actually, this episode came out... Shut up! Nobody cares. Yeah, sorry, I should have thought of that bit sooner, but I didn't. Right, but keep in mind that when I say it plays like it came out in 2000, it's also a more specific sentiment than just, oh, it plays like crap. I think this gameplay is good. It's just that it is slow and deliberate and grindy. And I am old and less patient than I was when I was a child, which is really saying something. So, yeah, I would at bare minimum really want some sort of like, you know, thing to help me grind to alt real fast. Oh, also, by the way, because there are those 2 warps forward, there's 2 warps backwards on this floor. And in fact, I believe there's 2 entrances. So, like, if you have a large enough party of people entering, they will enter from different locations, which is actually quite cool. Alright, do you have more information for me now that we're on floor 2? Well, we can see some new enemy data, right? Chaos Sorcerer. Ooh, 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 ooh. Those schmucks. So, in Ultimate and higher, Chaos Sorcerers are replaced with Grand Sorcerers who actually properly live up to the title of Chaos Sorcerer, at least in the Yu-Gi-Oh regard, because they cast Grant and Megid, which are light and dark spells, respectively. Oh, come on, I'm the one who had the terrible idea when it came to this one, because I started streaming it. Yeah, if I recall correctly, in old Phantasy Star, Megid was just, like, huge damage. Starting in PSO, it is very frequently an instant kill move. Or it's a damaging move that can instant kill. Like, you had... God, I swear the dark spells in Universe could instantly kill. And I remember being very annoyed about that. But yeah, in this game, it's just a straight instant kill move that is possessed in-game. Dark Falls Form 3 can shoot it down at you during low health. It's possessed by a couple of guys in Ultimate mode, as I discussed, Grand Sorcerers, and of course the ever-present Ob Lilies that show up in the caves and in the temple. Oh god, I just remembered that there is actually something in regular difficulty that has Megid as well. Ew. When the player uses it, it's something like, if I recall correctly, it has a chance of instantly killing an enemy that scales linearly up to 100% at level 30. No, there's nothing quite of that design in this game. Yeah, no, there's nothing of that. There's nothing that quite looks like that in this game. I mean, there's some character designs that are a little fan service oriented, but it's not quite like Final Form Profound Darkness, where that was just a naked woman with some like stuff drawn on afterwards. Anyway, did we read all of these? Okay, yeah, I think 7 is the one that we didn't read then. Well, that's a whole other thing. So the thing that I was just talking over just that second ago, that very last thing, is no. I was saying that like the blades and the wings and shit were drawn on after they had the base of like naked woman with large breasts as the design. You had it the wrong way around, even for the joke, you. And yeah, here we go. Here's another way back to the first floor if you want it. So yeah, not quite covering every... Well, I gotta say it the other way, that like, yeah, there is actually that sort of theme of like something related to some sort of sexual design because, well, I'll just say to go back and re-watch the last VOD that I did of PSO episode 1, or watch the video that is on my main YouTube channel where I kind of talk about that. And this interesting fan theory that I heard one time that I really would only give credence to because it makes sense with the amount of Alien inspiration in a lot of the franchise. Otherwise, I would probably consider it to be a little bit too edgy for me, but I digress. Oh, come on. Shadow's not that bad, right? Oh, yeah. I would have had to have comboed it during the middle of one of its attacks to actually kill it that way. I'm being silly. Besides, I think waiting for them to split is like 1 extra experience or something. Arguably, it's beneficial. Okay, yeah, I thought for sure that was going to be what was going on here. Well, it doesn't hurt to try, does it? Although if you deleted the new one, you're probably feeling real silly right now. Or possibly, anyway. I'm assuming that it's probably one of those things of... It might be more like speedrun community oriented or something, because that's a thing that comes up with quite a few randomizers. Which, I mean, okay, they're the ones who probably did most of the work with it, but it is also a little bit sad to me, because I love just playing randomizers casually. Even for games that I, like, know almost nothing about. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'll fumble through this and it'll be hilarious. Yeah, it's quite unfortunate in my opinion. Because it feels like it's kind of a little bit more of a walled garden sort of thing. Which isn't necessarily really the phrasing I'm looking for here offhand, but I've forgotten the other way to describe it, and that guy is too close. Please step away from the vehicle. Floor panel? No. Oh yeah, here's the... Well, obviously the Chaos Sorcerer was going to get melted. And whatever else was in here also kind of got annihilated, because I think it was the zombie robots. And I turned off the power supply pretty quickly. Oh, full health. Right, because we haven't been goofing around, and there haven't been quite as many of the fire things. Large-scale installation, huh? Oh boy, yeah, that's some bad news for sure. Especially because I know that there's some enemies in the future that are going to really suck for us. So that'll be great. There we go. And see, only a minor HP cost. It's fine. Just have to make sure that we actually kind of gun down the Chaos Sorcerers before they can magic us. Because that being magic means the damage is only affected by our elemental resistances. Oh, well, if it's that simple... it seems like an odd way to express it, but I'm not the one who wrote the way it works, so... Okay, so that opens up all the electrical barriers in the other area, I guess. This feels like a lot of stuff for what's probably not a ton of reward. Ow. Yeah, especially if things like that happen to us. Cool. It's like I haven't played the video game before. Yeah, there just really is nothing in here, is there? That's an incredibly strange setup for this area. That's... Huh. Unexpected. Okay, yeah, it's left, sorry. That's right, I should just take the plastic Allen device or something. Ah, here we go. This is a room with poison gas, which for some reason affects us despite us A, being a robot, and B, not being affected by other poison. It's rather odd. I had a paralysis on this thing, I just want to show it off. Oh, we can land a hit anyway. It might be immune to it being a machine-type monster. And able to be shocked and therefore stopped by electric damage. But we haven't got whatever to meddle with that. But, bro. I'm gonna drop that because I want to pick up this completely useless to us amplifier of Gibarda. I just think it's neat. Nice. That went pretty smoothly. It makes an annoying noise. I don't know how I never noticed it when I was younger. Oh, it's still doing something weird. That's... Man, how hard is it to make programs that work in a non-complicated way? Well, now that I say that, I don't really have great anything to do with programming, so... So we got two paths here. One's a warp. It leads me over to the boss, and the other one is... Oh, I see. It's another one of these kind of setups. Okay. What do you have to say, Ellie? I've gotten annoyed at her for giving me data that I probably should have. Alright. Let's go ahead and meet our boss fight now here. I mean, you probably can. It just might involve a lot of, like, luck getting out of bad fights. Ridge Racers. Huh. I forgot there was a Ridge Racer for N64. And yes, indeed, we've got another one of the many dragons that exist in the universe of PSO as our boss here. Yeah, you're just gonna have to have luck getting away from fights, I suppose. Ah, sorry about the old punch in the mic thing. Yeah, here's our gold dragon. Gold dragon. So in Ultimate, the dragon is replaced by the Sil Dragon, so I guess they're sort of spinning off of that thing of being the Silver Dragon. For this being the the Gold Dragon instead, but we didn't see the Sil Dragon because that's an Ultimate mode exclusive function. Feature. Monster. Function, why did I say... whatever, who cares? I think most of you get the basic idea, so that's pretty decent for me. By my standards. It does that splitting thing, and the doppelganger does actually have its own HP and will die reasonably quickly, I think. But you can see that we just completely ended up focusing on the correct one, and since the damage was not very different between them, I just ended up wailing on one of them, and it turned out to be the right one. Hooray! We beat both of the exams. Yay! Now we can unlock a much longer area. Station. Solitary island in the waters south of the central dome. So I guess, well, I mean, we have spaceships, so never mind feasibility questions there about things like that. Call it Galdival. Yeah. Go to Galdival Island. Thing. Find a man, huh? Deputy Commander Heathcliff Flowen. So what? Were you guys torn between that and Garfield, and you thought one of them would be a little less recognizable? Maybe his middle name is Garfield, I don't know. Okay, yeah, so that's the ghost who sent us the email. And we have to find him, because apparently he might still be alive. Oh, well, I guess that makes things quite simple. You don't have to think of another NPC name or something. Oh, so they actually have her out in the open. And she has a new model. Well, new outfit anyway. And again, we've already met you before. Hey, you don't say. Yeah, we already knew that. Oh, you are so normal, girl. I'm glad, actually. Well, I mean, really, why couldn't they have sent another area out to be another large set of things to be researched? Oh, well, that's a little bit more interesting. None of the data shows any record of this. Well, yeah, that's quite reasonable. Or at least reasonably so. Yeah, go look for a weird old cat. Okay. Yeah, you have to go through the other door in order to get over there. Anyway, yellow. Is it yellow? I mean, it's kind of like orangey. It's certainly not blue, that's for sure. Although, again, blue and orange is a strong design choice. It works very well for color blindness things, if I recall correctly. That people with basically any form of color blindness, I bring this up like anytime it comes up. And it comes up pretty often because it is a good and proven design feature. Always seems to get the job done. I have got to stop having my mic above the desk because... sorry. I gotta stop having my controller above the desk because it keeps getting picked up by the mic. There we go. I got that the right way around the second time, but it's embarrassing that I had to do it the second time, so... You know. You know. Oh. Yeah, dye fluids are not useful for us because we're a robot. Can't do anything with those. So, things are a little bit complicated here. For a start, we've got to warp back to the lab, but we've also got this going on. Yes, our map is splitting up into 3 new areas from the central control station. And what have we got here? Search log. Accessing AI Olga database. Initiating search. 1 item found. Well, nice. Security mode is currently active in this area. The main gate has been locked down. Yeah, so we actually have to go to all the other areas and unlock the securities over there. A thing that I think would be interesting would be to set this up in such a way that you are incentivized to split up if you're in a group that is large enough to take this on, but that is not the case here. Like, imagine this as sort of like a like an FF14 Alliance raid sort of thing. I feel like that would be neat anyway. He got in the message log. Who will be listening to this message, but message will explain the truth about the planet Regal. Name's Flowen. That's right, Garfield. Deputy Commander. Mission was going well. If I remember, Homeworld Corral was deteriorating rapidly. Pioneer Project was launched to search for a new home. Arrived on Regal, we began investigating his life. Selecting this planet was a mistake. Yeah, that sounds like it. No, that may have been the plan all along. Yeah, we know about Dark Falls. Not meant to be discovered. It's cursed inheritance from the past. Yeah. That's not exactly new stuff just yet. We're going to go through each of these areas in order, top to bottom. I see some stuff going on there. Search log. Oh, right. Well, we got that already. Yeah, security mode is active, so we're going to have to actually clear the area. Ah, yes, they do make delightful monkey noises, and also they breathe fireballs. So, yes, we finally get some new enemy types, and by and large, the old Gibbons are kind of very similar to the existing wolves, and we'll get to see a little some more parallels in that area very soon. Well, probably very soon, anyway. I forget when we're gonna see these things spawn. But yeah, for now, the apes just take 2 shots with the shotgun. We're mostly pressing the heavy attack for those, so because we do have good enough accuracy that we can usually hit those without having to do anything else. And we got a couple of these flying bugs in here, these geese. They kind of resemble somewhere between the Mothmans and Canadines, but really more the latter than the former, as they don't tend to spawn massively out of any hive or anything, so Press the switch. That's kind of what we came in here for. Ah, yes, here we go. We've got the upgraded jerkwads here. The enhanced gibbons. Now, much like their compatriots, much like the wolves, when you kill the Zal gibbon, it makes all the other gibbons let out a howl. The difference is it's much shorter and it buffs them instead of debuffing them. So yeah, it kind of reverses the dynamic of what you're supposed to deal with those enemies. So technically, I guess, it's a different enemy. Meanwhile, the Marilia and Meryltos guys are just like generic foot soldiers for this area. Your staple kind of walking enemy. They've got a little bit more trickery up their sleeve than usual, but compared to the robots who have lasers, it's not that much more, so... Yeah, I can see through that distortion effect. Oh god, I thought the light pillars that were evidence were behind me. Yeah, so that's something else we gotta deal with in this area. The Sinnoh barrels. They have a cloaking device, which is rude. Happened before Pioneer 2 entered orbit. Happened before the explosions. Reported before the explosion. Not determine if he survived or not. Gotcha. Alright, so their analysis info should be up to date. We can take a look at that stuff in a second. No new message. Alright. So, what do we got for the jungle area? Creature... Yeah, so I guess the idea is like the yellow ones are the males and the red ones are the females or something. Yeah, they will plant themselves in the ground where they're immune to damage. Maricarol, yeah. This is going to be our mini boss at the end of the area. So the way that all of these break down is that at the end of each area, there's like a mini boss, and it's a doozy of an enemy, and it's worth an appropriate amount of experience, but it's going to take us a couple of combos probably to take it out for each of these. Multiple species exist. Well, we don't have to worry about those for now, but yeah, the Maricarol can poison, and I think has an instant kill move as well, which is just fucking rude, frankly. Okay, so we can't see the mountain area yet, so I'm gonna assume that the control zone is not up to date. Instead, we have to go into this next location, and off we go. Climb up the... Alright. Now, it would probably be easier to pull these guys into a bit of a group here. So that way I can shotgun all of them. Yeah. Nice and simple. Yeah, so I think that wave deals damage to us, but as you can see, our evasion is so high that they don't hit us normally. Or if they do hit us, it's dealing 0 damage. But no, they're like poison wave, I think is actual damage. Could be wrong about that, but that is another thing that can be a huge pain in the butt, is just getting surrounded by enemies that can't damage you, but they can definitely just like tap you constantly. For something like that, you really need to just use your fastest firing weapon and just use its fastest attacks. Not really a great time to be like all AoE weapons. If you put away everything except for like a shot or a sword or something, you definitely will be having a shitty time with some of those enemies. Always carry at least some sort of single target weapon in this game. It's not just an episode 2 problem, by the way, just to make abundantly clear. It's just that that was one of the... We haven't really let ourselves get surrounded very much, especially not in when we were playing in episode 1. And you can see this is a nice big room that's a little bit set-piecey looking. You probably are thinking, hey, is something going to happen here? And the answer, I believe... Yeah, okay, the environment is turning color, so here we go. We've got the Maricarol. Is that shot confusion? If it is, it didn't get us that time, so that's good. Okay, so that's a lot softer of an enemy than I remember. That's good, though. The less time we have to spend fighting the Maricarol, the better, because those things... Like I said, I believe they have instant death moves. And in particular, I believe it's a very special kind of instant death where it's flat damage equal to your max HP. And that might sound real stupid, but there is a distinct difference between that and instant death. Which is that in this game, you can reduce the effectiveness of instant death via Megid, which is the other source of instant death, by increasing your resistance to dark. Which is rather hard to do without some very rare gear, but it is doable. And in fact, they definitely made it an easier thing in PSO Blue Burst. Because I think that's what added the anti-dark ring. But regardless... There's also some other shit that was added for that too, like the Cursed Cloak and the Dirty Life Jacket, I think. Anyway, we're not playing Pasab right now, so I can't really talk on that. But yes, there is a marked difference between those two things, because something that deals damage equal to your max HP will just deal the same amount of damage to you anyway. Alright, so is there no new file there? And yeah, you can see security mode is still active. Don't go in the portal just yet. You have to hit that thing, and that turns off the security for the area. And yeah, just to make absolutely sure, go in there. And make sure that we got all the data, because... just in case. We'll read the data and stuff after we unlock the main gate. We still got a couple more zones to zone through here. I told you, this place is pretty long. This is usually about the part of things where my kind of like not really enjoying the prospect of going on tends to kick in. Is once we hit this area. I mean, the first two parts of episode 2 can be a little bit frustrating, but this is just like a special level of tedious. And then you get to the seabed where like all the enemies just suck. And that's when my energy has well and truly gone out the damn window. I like the music in this area, though. I don't know how well it's coming through. Especially not with these fucking chimps screaming constantly, but... streamer, they're giving... Shut up! I know... Now, if the status buffs are a problem, you can wait them out, by the way. It's just that's monstrously tedious. Oh, I was ready to waggle in case I had to escape from an ice block. You can also see, though, a little bit that sometimes the scream does not result in status buffs for reasons that I'm not completely confident of. Like, I don't know why it's like that, but yeah. Like that one, I don't know, maybe it's because I was off screen. I feel... Oh no, no buffs there. Yeah, just neither of these guys getting any boosts. That's unusual. Alright, we're here in the mountain area. Anything to say? Okay, yeah, we can actually read another log. This time I can fit. That's a win. Well into the excavation process of the ancient spaceship. Or search the remains of an ancient civilization on Rhaegal to find technology that could help our science. Well, the civilization didn't seem to be on Rhaegal, right? Yeah, they sure did. Now, I got bad news, buddy. Well, you don't know about that, so... Able to confirm the existence of... Create an attack plan to remove the creature. It crawled up from a vast abyss of darkness. Appeared to be mutating as it moved towards us. Its body was cycling through the stages of life and death. That's quite a frightening description, really. Well, he managed to escape. Oh, he was injured, though. My wounds move as if they were somehow alive. It's believed that my wounds were consuming my body to take control. Yeesh! That's messed up, dude. I mean, I think we kind of knew a little bit about this, like, way of it possessing things by basically getting itself into your body. From episode 1. But, still, ugh, that's quite the unpleasant... I think after this game, the franchise really did kind of cut down on some of the overt cosmic horror, because stuff like that is kind of messed up. At least that's sort of where my recollection is. Like, obviously, things still have the cosmic horror angle in terms of the design and everything, but when it comes to the looks, not so much. And for reasons that I think are pretty understandable given that. Alright, let's feed our mag real quick. And then off we go back into here. Quick healing item, and ease in and clear them out. Dog, please. Dog's barking at another dog on the TV in the other room. They're very easily amused, I think, but also, hey, it's better than the alternative. She looks like she's carrying a purse. Well, it's a very weird purse then, is it? Yeah, actually, I guess, like, yeah, from the side, it's like it does, and from behind, yeah. So I was just like, okay, from the side, like, I guess it's got kind of the stock is like sort of a messenger bag, but it sticks back so far. That's right. That's her messenger. It's a bag where she keeps all her charms and pins and stuff. But also, if I can stop getting electrocuted by every single one of these shitty floor traps. I can press buttons and you can see that it sort of unfolds into a laser crossbow shotgun thing. Hey, wait a sec. Aren't crossbows in video games usually like the equivalent of a sniper rifle most of the time? When they're just in settings that are like, that they just don't have one of those for some reason. Like in BioShock, where the crossbow is also just cobbled together from random shit. It looks really good, in my opinion. The Bioshank crossbow. So that's why I'm bringing it up, because I'm a huge fucking nerd and I like BioShock. BioShack, wait. Ooh, yeah, it's the sky has changed color. Oh, geez, yeah. Here we go. Here's our mini boss for the area. Is a very large, somewhere between a gorilla and like a yak, I think. The Gibbles. This guy is kind of like the hardest of the mini bosses in the area, because it does that jump thing a lot when it's attacked, which means that it interrupts your combos with a level of ease that is a decent chunk. And I feel like it has the most HP out of them, and also just hits the hardest too, instead of it relying on any sense of tricks or anything like that. They're just not great. I dislike getting into fights with them. And also, yeah, you can tell by the amount of healing that we've been doing here. Like I said, we're doing this in normal mode for a reason, and that reason is because it gets really hard. Stuff does, like, real damage. There's enemies that can freeze us very easily, and lots of them. Just imagine they're cops. Unfortunately, that doesn't make me hit them harder, but I appreciate what you're talking about. Just imagine they're from ice, and now I'm really a hero. Wait. I don't think I should be saying that on Twitch, or many places at all right now, really, but, it is still true. A robot is I mean, to some people, and I'm sure that everybody is, you know, whenever it comes to machines as they exist in this world, people probably do just like, yeah, they're here only to serve me. Anyway, really, it's just because I'm a robot girl and I didn't want to suck Elon Musk's dick. Oh boy. Somebody posts that on Twitter and goes, he has committed a crime. He responds with it that way because he's being a real freak of nature right now. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Rein it in a little bit so that way people don't immediately think you're complete. Well, you know where I'm going here. You know what? I kind of admire that in a perverse way. I mean, yeah, somebody will come in here and say everything I do is perverse, and not for the discriminatory reasons that you would expect, but anywho. Ultimately, I suppose it is to be expected, though, when it comes to, you know, accidentally into political subjects, because, hey, yeah, unfortunately, our lives, etc., you know, some people just can't not be, you know, it can't be normal or something. Anyway, the internet sucks, guys. Wait. I mean, that's probably true, but for other reasons. We're currently off here on the... We're gonna get sand in our everything. Oh, hey, yeah, the footsteps are actually, like... I was confused for a second because I didn't know for sure if they were all in places where I had already walked. But no, this is a port of a game from 2000. They had footprints technology by this point. Being ridiculous. As usual. Cavern of Remembrance. Hi there. That's a good username. Now I'm like trying to place if that's a phrase from something, because my memory is not good a lot of the time. Also probably because I saw it and I was like... I mean, yeah, that's true, but... I think part of it is that I was thinking of, like, Cavern of Souls. Like, from Magic. And also, because there was a set... like a year or so ago that had a cave theme too, that like some of the cards were land type cave. It's a place from Kingdom Hearts 2. Okay, so I'm not sure. I don't want to be too mean to Kingdom Hearts 2. You know, everybody has... Kingdom Hearts 2 is a playable game. I prefer them further back in the series as it goes. And you know, there's things you can say about Kingdom Hearts 2 that not everybody will like it. I think maybe it leans a little too much on the press triangle stuff. But I think Kingdom Hearts 3 does more of that. So anyway, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 is also the most recent Kingdom Hearts game other than KH3 that I've played. At some point, I probably will go about playing all the other ones between 2 and 3. Also, yeah, so this data information is telling me about large bees. Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 2, my main thing that I will say about it is that it is much easier to get a handle on Kingdom Hearts 2 than it is to get a handle on Chain of Memories. I do have a GBA copy of Chain of Memories. I have all the collections for the... Well, all the... Whatever. I have quite a few Kingdom Hearts collections. So I own copies of all the games up except for Melody of Memory and anything that came after that. At least I do on Steam. And I own... Well... See, I'm saying that a little differently. Because I don't have the DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3 on PS4. And I've got a couple of them on... PS3. Ah, fuck it. I'm actually going to get up. Hang on a second. I'm going to go look. Okay, sorry, I'm back. Anyway, beat your ass. I would deserve it, dude, but also... Okay, so I got up and I looked at what I had on the shelf, and the collections that I own on console, I have 1.5 and 2.5 as PS3 discs, and I own the one called The Story So Far, and also base KH3 on PS4. And I own the most recent thing that they did on Steam, like Integrum Masterpiece or something, I think was the name of that bundle. So I bought them on PS3 because obviously then I have access to them, and more interestingly to me was that I had the Final Mix collections. Dog, please! Dog sees another dog on TV. I'm trying to explain something. The dog is probably making more sense than I do. So yeah, I ended up picking up Story So Far because A, it was a decent price, and B, it was easier for me to do stuff with the PS4 than the PS3. Especially because my main hookup for anything is plug it into the back of a capture card, and then I don't have to fuck with HDCP on the PS3 or anything like that. So, hey, cool, I'll take the $20 to just have it on a better machine. And yet, I think I still played Kingdom Hearts 1 on PS3 last time I did. I bought them on Steam because I was like, ooh, mods. That's a thing that exists. And randomizers and shit like that. Anyway. Yes, so I do own a remarkable amount of Kingdom Hearts, but admittedly, I have not played a lot of the games other than 1, 2, Chain of Memories, and 3. And yet I said them out of order for some reason. And I haven't played any of the DLC stuff for 3, because I didn't have it at the time that I played 3. I remember looking up, like, shitloads of the Kingdom Hearts lore, though, just to be like, okay, I've heard Kingdom Hearts 3 has a bit of a reputation with some people of being like, okay, yeah, this is impossible to understand. Is it actually that bad? And the answer is that really, I think it's fine up until you hit the point in the Keyblade Graveyard where they introduce the names of, like, contest winners from a mobile game. And I think they might not no, surely it was something that Americans had access to, but there is a part of me that's like, maybe it wasn't. Regardless, I think that that's kind of a point where it's like, that is very much specifically just for the people who are, like, way too hardcore. Which, fair enough that it's a relatively minor detail, I guess, but it would absolutely make someone go, wait, am I supposed to understand this? What? And with something that already has that reputation, thanks to the internet, this wonderful machinery that we've invented to cause problems for ourselves. And here's a giant bee, by the way. Just in case you hadn't noticed it. And when it throws up that shield, it shoots an explosive at you, because we all know that what giant killer bees really need, more than anything, is having a bazooka in their ass. That they can just fire at you when you scare them. Admittedly, I feel like maybe Maybe I'm all for arming bees in real life, but none of those fucking wasps, they're not allowed to have that. Is that a lightning flash in the background? Oh, no, I think it was just the camera clipping through the wall a little bit weirdly, and it produced a little extra skybox, and it was very deep blue. That was bizarre.
You ever met the kind of people that come to these
Oh, hello.
concerts? These dudes have got energy to spare.
It's 9:30 p.m. over here. You're up quite late, Lampy. How are you? Lamprey. That's a good pun. So we've turned off all the security switches. Yay! Yay, yay, yay! Yes, I'm finally getting to episode 2. We're really motoring through episode 2 because there's not a whole lot of story quests offline. Boo! One of these days, I'll remember to set things up on like one of the Blueburst private servers and get the story stuff that's available there, or even the non-story stuff, maybe. There aren't an episode 2? Huh. Yeah, I mean, I know that... Unless you were referring to just the offline quests, pardon me. Hooray! Yes, there are. There's quite a few of those, which makes me very happy. Okay, yeah, sorry, the chat delay was like... Yeah. I used to have saved on my memory card a couple of the online exclusive quests, like, I think probably the Forest Lost Weapon one, because I was grinding those monsters for treasures a lot, and definitely either East and or West Towers. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I only have 2 messages in this message log. Did I miss some? I may have to go and recheck the area. Right, so what can we be told about the main control area here? Search and capture unit, huh? Beryl and Spigel. We haven't seen a Spigel yet. That'll be the upgraded version. I can't remember if they still use fire magic, but... Sites... Yeah, of course, the AIs are susceptible to Dark Falls radiation. This is very odd. Camouflage, transport... Okay, yeah, so I'm assuming that means that both of them are gonna spam Gifoy when they get hit. And yeah, they have... As we saw before, they have cloaking devices, which is... great. I'm going back into each area, and I'm going to recheck the terminals and see if any of them have more messages for us to pick up. Because it sure didn't seem like there was anything at the end of either the mountain or seaside area for us to search. Just make sure that we have, like, all the background lore, because I am still doing this for the story a little bit. Which probably sounds a little bit surprising, because I'm sure that a lot of people breezed through Phantasy Star Online without realizing that it had much story to it, but it does. Yeah, quite a lot, and especially in all those side quest chains. Some of that stuff still freaks me out pretty severely. It is quite the, it can get quite disturbing. And then I think they sort of dialed it back a little bit for some of the later games, although we played through the single-player quests of Phantasy Star Universe and its expansion pack a while ago, and there were some there were some kind of scary moments in that too, just of a slightly different nature. Also, as you probably guessed, don't touch the laser walls. It will upset the security devices in the area. And that's not fun. Nobody wants that. I don't think it summons more enemies to fight, even. It's just... it creates some of those fireball turrets, or maybe even ones that use ice instead. In fact, possibly a mix of both. Okay, thankfully that barrel spawned with its... cloak off, so I guess it didn't have time to help. Or maybe it just acted oddly. I couldn't say for sure. Wow, that one had to be on like the exact edge of the target radius for our shotgun. That's definitely... that's quite lucky. Otherwise, I would have been confused for a bit, just standing there like, why can't I go on? And here's the enhanced model, but it didn't get a chance to show anything off. This photon launcher just does a lot of damage, so... no worries there. But I'm pretty sure it's just the same as a barrel, but with higher stats. However, you really don't see a lot of them. Yeah, it's basically just the same enemy, but stronger. Many such cases. It doesn't do anything weird like heal allies or anything. I want to say, though, that either the barrel and their relative, or on higher difficulties anyway, or possibly the robots that you face in the seabed had the ability to knock your weapon off with that jumping hit. You don't, like, drop it or anything. You just unequip it, and then you have to fumble around putting it back on in the middle of a fight, which is still kind of irritating. But at least it's only less inputs than if they made you drop it. Still an interesting mechanic. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's not the jump attack. We just got the weapon just punched out of our hand. Oh, they can heal. All right. But only themselves? Ah, crap. We alerted the security devices. Yeah, they just punched the weapon right out of your hand. Not gonna lie, there's something kind of funny about that, actually. But thankfully, that's the last enemy for the area. In a place where you can lose a lot of HP because of the fire traps and the laser things. So that's... Right, no new data here. And I don't think I missed a message log. The ones that we already read, they were quite disturbing. But usually that stuff comes in 3 or more, so that is a little bit odd. Come over here and heal up. Sell all over these things. Ooh, I've got a die grinder. I should put that to use on the DB saber that we're still toting around. That's right, this thing with its 90% native. Absolutely one of the silliest things that I've ever found in any of these games. And come in here, deposit our money, and item. I'm at 9 telepipes instead of 10, but I'm only moderately bothered by that. I'll find another one sooner rather than later, I'm sure. So now for another boss, it's kind of a dragon variant here. It's time for the Gal Griffin. This thing is admittedly a relatively irritating creature. It doesn't do a lot of damage to us. I remember this thing being a huge pain in the butt last time I fought it, which was a while ago. It does have this feature that makes things kind of irritating, where it will shoot out these tornadoes that you have to deal with for a bit. Also, yeah, being a high flyer, you can't really target it in the air. I was trying to use the photon launcher because I believe that weapon type has a very good vertical targeting. I do not remember that attack at all. Oh, huh. I was not expecting it to be dead already because it actually got back up in the air. I mean, yes, we're doing good damage, and yeah, we're in normal mode because of the reasons that I discussed before, but that's still much faster than I was expecting, to be completely honest with all of you. I would like to know if there's some sort of story to that thing, or if it was just a big, angry creature. Alright, well, judging by the fact that we've got one item sitting on the ground and our inventory is... Oh, no, there's still more boxes to open. Okay, well, not completely without meaning, because there was still a couple of crates there that had just money. I was expecting to pick up nothing out of that, but that was not the case. What have you got to say? Oh, was it an altered beast? I thought it was a native type. Oops. Yeah, what's going on? Some unusual photon readings, huh? Mission. Under the island in the seabed. That's quite interesting. Will do after I talk to all the other NPCs. Yeah, I think I got that assumption from everybody else. Calling it a worm-type mutant. Why would... Well, I mean, I guess because Derelay, but... that thing is certainly not worm-like at all. Well, it definitely means that thing is quite odd, that's for sure. Anything new to add, Ellie? Facility was built only for research and development, huh? Seen any signs of life anywhere, so all the creatures that we're going to be encountering in there are not really alive, right? Yep, and that is going to end up being one of the two things that we do next time. To be honest, I thought this would take a bit longer. But we've already gotten through 3 areas in one day. That's pretty fast. I mean, granted, we're also very over-leveled because we're on normal, as I said before, to try to ease the amounts of how difficult certain things are going to be. And by certain things, I mean the areas that we have to go into in Seat of the Heart, which is an incredibly long quest. And I believe it has to go through both control towers, so that'll be fun. Those are really hard. But I believe we can access it now. Now that we have the... Now that we've cleared the central control area. So that means that next time we should be able to do that, and that'll be the first thing we do. And come to think of it, I forget exactly how long it is. It might end up being like the only thing we do. Given that. But we will find out when we get there, so... not to worry. Let's just dump that last thing off so that way I can make sure I get all the money out of my inventory. And yes. This time I'm making sure that I save and quit the game on camera, because otherwise I may forget. And I want to have some sort of confirmation so that way I don't look completely silly. Because I definitely forgot last time, at least once, when I was playing episode 1, and I had to redo a part of the game, and I looked a little silly for it. Yeah, I'm used to the PC releases, which will autosave, because that stuff is on a server. But autosaving was not really a thing on the console versions. Unless you hit the quit the game thing. I think they autosaved a little better when you were online, at least, but I can't necessarily confirm that off the top of my head. Anyway,